Hello everyone, Thempire here with not new cards, but the OCG Forbidden Limited list. Now, I talked about the last list, and people seem to like that video. These lists, I do want to preface this as I do every time I talk about the OCG. The OCG has barely anything to do with the TCG. They get the cards first, they get hits to the list first, but there is almost no correlation between the two. Some things you can be like, okay, yeah, so that deck did well and it's going to do well here too. But that's just like the cards that are like extremely strong. It tells you that like if a card does well in the OCG, that tells you that it's like decently strong, right? It doesn't tell you that it's going to see play here. Particularly in regards to like engines and individual cards, as opposed to like a big like overarching deck type. I think overarching decks like Snake Eyes, Thempire, that's a little bit clearer. Although, you know, Thempire is good over here, but it did not do nearly as well over here as it did in the OCG, partly because OCG hit Snake Eyes a little bit harder than we did, particularly in the consistency sense, which made it so that Thempire was more able to use its lack of engine space. Like, it was just like it's tiny little engine to run a lot more non-engine than Snake Eyes could, because Snake Eyes had to fill out the slots that were missing. And they started filling it with stuff like Fiendsmith, and I gotta be honest, that seems really bad. That doesn't seem very good. Don't get me wrong, the Fiendsmith engine is like cool, but it's not 6 more hand traps, right? That's the problem I have with it. I could see it doing well. I could see it doing not well, right? That's what I'm saying. And I think I lean more towards not doing very well, except in specific decks like yugioh, where I think it can actually flourish pretty well. But what this list does tell us is stuff that's coming to Master Duel potentially. There's a bit more correlation between Master Duel and the OCG than there is between OCG and TCG. So this might potentially give us a look at what might be coming to Master Duel as far as some of these list changes. And also, I think it's just interesting to see how the other side is living, you know? And some of these changes do matter for, like, Worlds, as far as, like, the combined Worlds list. But, yeah, that's I think mostly it's just kind of interesting to see what's going on in the OCG, because they just play the game very differently than us. I don't know why. It's not really, like, a cultural thing, I don't think. It's just they play it differently. They have a different list, obviously, that changes some of how they play, but they also just seem to value engines more than we do, over non-engine, which is interesting. But yeah, let's take a look at this list, and then I'm done prefacing everything. By the way, if there's like a noise in the background that isn't being covered up by the background music, it's because I have a dehumidifier on. It is miserable here. The southeast United States is going through a rough time of it. It is miserably hot and miserably humid, without any rain in sight. So, it's been bad even inside. But anyways, let's get into this. First up, Catapult Turtle Forbidden, which is interesting. I don't know why. This one I'm confused on. There's obviously, it's Catapult Turtle, so it's probably an FTK of some kind. What's the FTK though? Did they unban Magical Scientist or something? Like, what's going on? Kaiser Coliseum, though, is a very good change. I don't know how OCG has gotten away with having Kaiser Coliseum legal for this long. It seems insane to me that it's been allowed to exist like it is. Yeah, it's Kaiser Coliseum. This card is crazy, and Thempire really likes it too. So I'm definitely good to see this gone, and yeah, don't want to see that back ever again. Then we have the limited, which is actually quite a few of. Performer Page Plush Fire is back. It has the errata, which gives it a once per turn. That's fine. It's fine. Kieran came off the list. We actually got our Kieran off a little early, so they're just following suit. Beatrice, why didn't you limit this sooner? Why didn't you ban it? Just ban it. Beatrice shouldn't be legal. But whatever. Little Knight, this is the, I guess, predicted trajectory for SP Little Knight. Where everyone was saying last list that SP Little Knight was semi-limited to warning people that they needed to sell their copies now, and now it's going to limited, and limited actually does affect SP Little Knight a little bit. A lot of people do play 2 copies of it. This makes it so you don't have as much access to it. It's not as easy to go into it the second. You can't go in the second time. And also, if you have an extra deck rip like a Kashtira Unicorn, this can make SP unplayable. Like, just gets it out of the game entirely. Snake Eyes Ash to 1. This has been a very powerful hit in Master Duel, which has really limited the consistency of Snake Eyes. It's still good, but it's not as good, right? It's more in line with the rest of the decks of the format, which is, I think, kind of where you want it to be. I still don't like consistency hits. I would rather them hit the power level of the deck, like hitting Flamberge, but hitting Flamberge kind of kills the deck too, so I don't know. This deck is designed in such a way where you can't really hit the power level of the deck very easily, so you just have to hit the consistency. Number 40, Gimmick Puppet of Strings. This is to stop the Gimmick Puppet FTKs. That's probably for the best. Like, I don't like FTKs. I mean, I like showing them off, mainly because I like popularizing them so they get destroyed. Like, I don't want them to be legal anymore, so I abuse them as much as possible to make Konami get rid of them. That's the philosophy I have with burn lists. Usually, like when I did that Volcanic FTK, I wanted to show people, first of all, I wanted to show people how to beat the deck, and secondly, I wanted to show people that it existed and it needed to be dealt with. And then we have Sangin Summoning, which is the field spell that protects the Thempires. And it also, God, Sangin Summoning is crazy. It's not just protection for Thempires. It is also a cycle. It lets you cycle for cards. It's just extra consistency and protection. It's an incredible tool. Although I will say every time I've played Sangin Summoning, I just don't activate the effect. You always just draw into the stuff you need when you're playing Thempire somehow, at least most of the time. If you have even like one of the pieces that you need for Sangin Summoning, like, you don't even activate it, because if you activate it, then they can Ghost Ogre it and you lose the protection. Summon Limit going to 1 should just be banned, but whatever. Taking these Floodgate cards to less copies, perfectly fine. Of course, again, like, I'm saying this as if I was playing this. I don't play the OCG. I'm a TCG person, right? But if I was playing in the OCG, this is like how I would feel about them, I guess, is where I'm coming from. Summon Limits. We got the Dragon Rulers coming off to 2 each, which is interesting, but I think it's fine. Like, I don't think the Dragon Rulers, even at 3, are going to be something to worry about. I think at most they'll be rogue playable, and I think that's cool. I think it's actually cool that Dragon Rulers can be playable again, right? Spiral Quick Fix. Listen, this is fine, but I fucking hate Spiral, dude. Spiral is one of those decks that combos forever and just ends on like a bunch of floodgates, and that's really annoying. Like, say what you will about Snake Eyes, and I have, and people in my comments certainly have, but at least Snake Eyes doesn't end on fucking floodgates. At least not usually. And then Bonfire to 2. That doesn't do very much, but I think it's moving on to 1 at some point, I believe. I think this is just what they do in the OCG. They move things to 2 and then they move things to 1. They just like to do it that way. And honestly, with Bonfire, this is actually the now that I think about it, this is actually the hits that I suggested for the deck at one point, which was Ash to 1, Bonfire to 1, but they have that too, obviously, just to make it harder to get the Poplar search and then summon. What they did in Master Duel was instead of hitting Bonfire, they hit Wanted, which I also think is an interesting way to deal with it, because it really reduces the amount of card recovery. Wanted is a crazy card when you think about it, but I think both ways are pretty valid, honestly. I think I do actually like the Master Duel hits better, though, like as far as how they hit the deck. All right, and then the unlimited, of course, we have Ib and Thunder Dragon Colossus. And Time Seal, things that have already been unhit in the TCG, being unhit in the OCG. I don't like Colossus. It's a lame floodgate, but it's not meta, so who cares, I guess. This is like a difference in banlist philosophy. I like to ban cards because I find them annoying, whereas Konami likes to ban cards because they're broken. I don't think Colossus is necessarily broken, really. It's just really annoying, and so I don't like it. Whereas Konami wants to have as many cards legal as possible, generally speaking. So they are only hitting for power level rather than concerns about annoyance. Although Summon Limit got hit, so who knows? Although Summon Limit is a very powerful floodgate too, so that's not to be underestimated. Orphis Scorpio coming to 3 is interesting. I didn't realize it wasn't already at 3 in the OCG. I mean, good. It doesn't belong at 2 or whatever it was at. Glow Up Bulb to 3 though, potentially dangerous. Honestly, I could see that happening in the TCG though, but especially with Link Karibo gone, I think with Link Karibo gone, Glow Up Bulb is a lot more justifiable to come off, and of course Halka-Fibrax. But I don't know. It's still a really powerful card. It's just like it's a 1-card Naturia Beast in a lot of decks. Or not a 1-card, it's a 2-card because you got to summon something. But a lot of decks have a 4-star normal summon. And then you can, if you get the Glow Up Bulb to the grave somehow, you've got Naturia Beast, right? But I don't think that's like common. It's like not particularly played. I don't know. I think Glow Up Bulb is questionable. It's questionable, but I think it's probably going to be fine. Like I'm on the fence about it, but I think I'm leaning towards fine. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's the OCG list. I think this is actually one of the better OCG lists I've seen. Not that I pay much, like a whole lot of attention, but like the past couple, comparing this to those, I think I like this one a lot better. I still don't quite understand the Catapult Turtle. I guess like if you know what FTK this is part of, because it has to be an FTK. Let me know in the comments what the Catapult Turtle FTK is, because I'm interested in what that could look like in the TCG potentially. But yeah, I like this list. I think this is cool. Oh right, I should talk about the elephant in the room, or rather the elephant that's not in the room, which is maxx. So maxx is obviously not on this list anywhere. Maxx is just not on it. A lot of people were speculating that it would be because the newly released Molt Chummy card. The Molt Chummy card, as I looked at earlier in an earlier video, is a bad maxx, a maxx with significant downsides, and it's like a fine card. I think it's still worth playing. I think in a format with maxx, a lot of people are saying like in a format with maxx, there's no reason to play it. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think there's plenty of reason to play it, but I don't know that OCG players will play it because they don't value hand traps as much as we do for whatever reason. But I think in the TCG, if we had both, we would definitely be playing both because there's some really bad hand traps that we've been playing that I think they would rather see Molt Chummy in hand for. Like, yeah, sure, they conflict with each other, but it's another maxx. If your one maxx gets negated, you have a second maxx now. Like, that's just crazy. But that doesn't mean that the OCG is going to play them both, or that the OCG will ban maxx just because they're printing a second worse maxx. Because a lot of people were seeing this as a replacement for maxx, so they could finally get rid of it in the OCG and Master Duel. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think that's a pretty big assumption that a lot of people are making. And if you think that that Molt Chummy automatically means that maxx is gone, I think you're just coping, frankly. But that's just what I think. I do think that there is a potential that happens, but I don't think it's guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. However, I will also say, just because it wasn't hit this list does not mean it won't be hit next list. The thing about the OCG is that they like to move a little slowly with their bannings, as we see by the fact that things move from 3 to 2 to 1 to banned, quite frequently. So they could be waiting to see what happens in the wake of the Molt Chummy release. And so potentially next list we'll see a hit on maxx. Could be. I don't know. And who knows what Master Duel will do, because Master Duel has an entirely different philosophy when it comes for these things. The OCG doesn't like to do preemptive hits on the ban list. Master Duel loves preemptive hits. So we could definitely be seeing potentially a hit on maxx. Just because it doesn't come in OCG does not mean it will not come for Master Duel. I don't know. I think it's a lot more up in the air than people realize. So I did want to bring that up here at the end of the video. But let me know what you think of this list. Let me know what you think of the odds of maxx being banned. If I was to put a percentage on it, I mean, the percentage is 50-50. Either it happens or it doesn't, right? I'm going to put it at, I actually think it's a 40-60 split. 40 that they get rid of it, 60 that they keep it. I know that's kind of, I feel like that's a little controversial even, but I feel like that's just the way I'm feeling. That's just, I don't like it. I'd rather they get rid of it. But I think 30-70 for Master Duel, actually. I think 30-70 for Master Duel. Oh wait, no, I mean a 50-50 for Master Duel. I mean, I think it's more likely Master Duel gets rid of it than OCG does, because Master Duel likes to hit cards a lot. Maybe they'll put maxx to 2. They'll put maxx and Molt Chummy to 2. I think I can see that happening. Okay. Well, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey there. Thanks for watching another video. Why don't you give it a like, share it around, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications. You know, the YouTube stuff. You can also follow me on Twitch and Twitter for more content. I got content plenty for ya. You can also support the channel by giving me money. You have a Patreon. If you join the Patreon, you can show up in the credits over here. I would really appreciate that. You could also use my TCG Player affiliate link to get any singles, sealed product, or accessories you want, all to supporting the channel at the same time. That's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of whatever time it is for you. Bye now!